Picture this: one weekend, a single golf event, $15 million in brand deals, and the WNBA fell completely silent. While Caitlin Clark was shattering records and signing deals that made headlines around the world, her supposed rivals couldn't even manage a single congratulations. Not a word from Aja Wilson, complete radio silence from Angel Reese. The very same players who spent months throwing shade suddenly lost their internet connection the moment Clark made $15 million doing something she plays for fun. You probably noticed the pattern. Many of you have been pointing it out for weeks. The WNBA doesn't have a Caitlin Clark problem, it has a jealousy problem. And that envy just cost them millions in exposure, while another league discovered exactly how to celebrate stars and profit from it. Let's cut through the noise and connect the dots. What went down at the RSM Classic Pro-Am wasn't just a golf story. It was a masterclass in how to either lift up your stars or bury them. And the numbers? They don't lie. Here's the real story. The RSM Classic Pro-Am was meant to be a laid-back, casual celebrity golf outing. Nothing flashy. A few pros, some familiar faces, light competition. Enough to make local news and move on. Then someone glanced at the player list and saw one name that changed everything: Caitlin Clark. Official confirmation was sketchy, but multiple sources confirmed the chaos that followed. Tickets that had been sitting unsold for weeks sold out within hours. And here's the wild part. People weren't coming for Tiger Woods. They weren't there for the top LPGA stars. They were there to watch a basketball player try her hand at golf. The woman who's turned the WNBA upside down was about to swing a driver, and everyone wanted a front row seat. By sunrise on event day, fans were lining up in Indiana Fever jerseys, not golf polos, not hats, real basketball jerseys at a golf tournament. One announcer even joked it felt more like a Fever game than a golf outing. Overnight, the vibe transformed. What was supposed to be a sleepy weekend event now had the intensity of a championship matchup. But here's the key detail most competitor coverage ignored. This wasn't an official LPGA tournament. It was a pro-am, pairing pros with amateurs and celebrities. Caitlin wasn't competing against the pros. She was playing alongside them in a fun exhibition-style format. And that's what makes this story even bigger. Even in a casual setting, Clark still broke records and created more buzz than most professional tournaments. When her name hit the schedule, the crowd went silent, awed, amazed, and completely captivated. You could feel the air hold its breath. Then she stepped up to the tee, calm, composed, smiling like it was just another ordinary day. She scanned the fairway, took a deep, steady breath, and swung. The sound was perfect, pure, crisp, and sharp enough to make Tiger Woods glance up, eyebrows raised. The ball soared, 270 yards straight down the middle, no slice, no hook, dead center. The crowd went absolutely wild. People were cheering, clapping, recording every second in disbelief. Even Tiger, who's seen it all, muttered under his breath that it was the best first swing he'd ever witnessed from a non-professional. Look closely, and you can see exactly what was happening. The golf world recognized raw talent and fierce competitiveness, the qualities that make someone exceptional in any sport. Within minutes, Steph Curry tweeted that Caitlin Clark might be better than him at golf. That single tweet sent Caitlin Clark golf trending worldwide. ESPN called her the most natural crossover athlete since Michael Jordan, and Golf Digest ran the headline, "Caitlin Clark just changed golf forever." And all this came from someone who reportedly showed up just to relax and have fun. Right, Caitlin, your version of relaxing includes rewriting record books. While the golf world was celebrating, another story unfolded quietly: the silence. Remember those familiar WNBA names who spent an entire season talking about her? Aja Wilson, who constantly commented on coverage, and Angel Reese, who couldn't stop mentioning her? Suddenly, nothing. No tweets, no Instagram stories, not a single word. Fans noticed immediately. One wrote, "Funny how Caitlin's breaking golf records and all her rivals disappeared." Another commented, "They had all year to throw shade, but now they can't even say congrats." That silence said more than words ever could. This wasn't about basketball, it was always about ego. Meanwhile, the LPGA pros showed her nothing but respect. Nelly Korda, one of the top golfers in the world, walked up after her round and said, "You belong here." Maria Fessy added that Caitlin's energy is pure and brings something the sport has been missing. That's the contrast. In basketball, she's a threat. In golf, she's a teammate. Now let's talk about the course, because this is where it gets insane. Hole 7. a tricky par 4 that even PGA pros struggle with. Everyone expected Caitlin to play safe, but safe isn't in her vocabulary. She lined up, swung, and the ball took off like it had somewhere urgent to be. It landed perfectly on the green, rolled, and stopped inches from the cup. The crowd gasped. Commentators went silent for a beat before chaos erupted. She finished the round 13 under par. Let that sink in. 13 under from someone whose day job is shooting three-pointers. That performance smashed the previous Pro-Am record. Tiger Woods later told reporters it was one of the cleanest, most confident swings he'd ever seen from someone outside professional golf. Coming from Tiger, that's not just praise, it's validation. And then there's the business side. The moment Caitlin Clark's name hit the event roster, everything changed financially. Ticket demand skyrocketed 1,200%. I'll say it again, 1,200%. Sponsors called non-stop. The entire event transformed overnight, and it all came from one name, Caitlin Clark. Brands that had never given women's golf a second thought suddenly wanted anything with Caitlin Clark's name on it. And here's the key point. She reportedly signed multiple major sponsorships in just 1 week. One with a top sportswear company, another with a golf equipment brand, and even a streaming deal to document her training. The total value? Over $15 million. She literally turned a casual weekend of golf into a multi-million-dollar spectacle. Drop a comment now. Should the WNBA be worried that Caitlin just earned more in one golf weekend than most of their stars do in entire careers? And yes, that's not shade, it's just numbers. Meanwhile, the WNBA remained awkwardly quiet while fans called them out everywhere. One fan wrote, "The LPGA knows how to celebrate greatness. The WNBA just hides it." Another said, "One league understands marketing, the other understands pettiness." The golf world got it. Caitlin Clark doesn't just play. She brings attention, revenue, and excitement. You don't suppress that. You celebrate it and everyone benefits. Look closer and the numbers are staggering. Pro-Am organizers revealed Caitlin's appearance generated more revenue than their last 3 events combined. Think about that. 3 full tournaments couldn't match what one basketball player accomplished in a single weekend. Merchandise sales skyrocketed, with golf fans, many of whom had never watched the sport before, leading the charge. One Golf Digest commenter wrote, "I've never watched women's golf, but if Caitlin's playing, I'm tuning in." That's the ripple effect she creates. She enters a new sport and suddenly everyone pays attention. Not because she's flashy, but because she makes competition fun again. She reminds people why they fell in love with sports. The joy, the skill, the moments that make you jump out of your seat and cheer. While the LPGA was celebrating her impact, the WNBA was trending for all the wrong reasons. Social media lit up with side-by-side comparisons. LPGA praising Caitlin, WNBA players posting brand deals, and TikTok dances. The contrast was brutal. One league elevates talent, the other amplifies drama. The cultural shift was palpable. For months, the WNBA tried to control the Caitlin Clark narrative. Limited coverage, downplayed achievements, treated her like just another player. Now, they couldn't ignore her even if they tried. Caitlin wasn't just basketball's biggest star anymore. She was becoming the face of sports entertainment itself, and everyone noticed. Tiger Woods noticed. In an interview the next day, he smiled when asked about her performance and said it reminded him of his own breakthrough: confidence, precision, and zero fear. That's high praise from a man who rarely gives it. Hours later, photos surfaced of Tiger chatting privately with Caitlin near the clubhouse. Sources say he even offered her a private training session, something he almost never does. If true, she's officially in the golf inner circle. Within 48 hours of the event, Caitlin reportedly locked in 3 major deals: a golf apparel company, a luxury watch brand, and a beverage company, making her the face of their new campaign. Total value? Again, over $15 million. To put that in perspective, she made more in 1 weekend of golf than most WNBA stars will earn in their entire careers. Not a season, careers. Journalists are calling it the Clark effect. One headline even read, "Every league wants Caitlin Clark." And honestly, can you blame them? Caitlin Clark drives ratings, brings in revenue, and commands attention wherever she goes. Any organization smart enough to embrace her instantly benefits. Fans joked online that she might as well switch to golf full time. One tweet read, "If Caitlin joins the LPGA, Tiger better start checking his records." Another joked, "She's gonna need a bigger trophy shelf." But behind the humor is a deeper truth. Caitlyn isn't just talented, she's a winner. That competitive fire follows her everywhere, and it's infectious. Even casual fans feel it. You don't need to love basketball or golf to enjoy watching her. You just have to appreciate someone who makes excellence look effortless. That's rare, and it's why other top athletes are taking notice. Serena Williams called her performance amazing. Patrick Mahomes said she's a monster. Even LeBron James shared a clip with the caption, "This girl different." Meanwhile, the silence from certain corners of the WNBA remained deafening. Not a word from A'ja Wilson. No congratulations from Angel Reese. Fans flooded social media asking why. Some blamed jealousy, others pride, and some just couldn't handle someone else stealing the spotlight. But Caitlyn didn't need their approval. She had the crowd, the fans, the media, and the entire golf community on her side. When asked about the WNBA silence, she simply smiled and said, "I'm focused on what makes me happy. Competing is competing, no matter the sport." Classic Caitlyn, confident, cool, and effortlessly savage. The broadcast of her Pro-Am round drew higher viewership than most LPGA finals. Networks that usually get quiet Sunday numbers suddenly saw primetime traffic. And the best part? Caitlyn acts like none of it is a big deal. She plays, laughs, waves to fans, and makes it look like a friendly game. No ego, no drama, just skill and personality. When asked if she might join the LPGA full-time, she shrugged and said, "Let's just say I'm keeping my options open." Translation, if she wants to do it, she will, and she'll probably dominate. If you're seeing what we're seeing, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The Caitlyn Clark era is only getting started. The leagues that embrace her will thrive. The ones that try to suppress her will get left behind. Here's the bottom line. Caitlyn Clark turned a casual golf weekend into a $15 million statement. She reminded everyone that talent doesn't belong to one sport. It belongs to the person who works hardest and shows up ready to compete. The LPGA got it instantly. They celebrated her, promoted her, and profited alongside her. Meanwhile, the WNBA stayed quiet, watching millions in exposure and revenue slip through their fingers. One weekend proved the point. Treat greatness as a threat and you lose. Treat it as an opportunity and everyone wins. Caitlyn Clark just taught 2 leagues that lesson, and only one was paying attention. This isn't just a story about golf. It's about recognition, respect, and what happens when extraordinary talent lands in the right environment. And the rivalry between leagues? It's only getting started. Caitlyn, she's just getting warmed up.